91.5 WBIM presents the Saturday Night Soundtrack. Whoever you're with, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, don't stop. Just turn us up. Coming to you live from the campus of Bridgewater State University. We are your destination for commercial-free classic rock to power your nights. Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Van Halen, Aerosmith, Beatles, Eric Clapton, Pink Floyd, The Who, U2, AC/DC, Tom Petty, Allman Brothers, Ozzy, Neil Young, and hundreds more. Take us along wherever you go with the Livestream.com app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. So go get some food in the belly and gas in the tank as BSU's Alumni Saturday rocks on. The Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer begins now on Bridgewater's own 91.5 WBIM.
It is 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack is underway for one more week. Welcome to it. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hello. When he says still here, he means he's returned for another week. He didn't just hide out in the studio all week.
No, yeah, I did. I lived here.
You lived here?
Yeah.
Under the consoles and stuff?
No, like out in the dorm, like you know what I mean?
If you did, I'm wondering how you would have been able to stand it, because remember last week when we came in here and I commented about how comfortable the studio was temperature-wise?
Yeah.
Well, that's no longer the case this week.
What's wrong with this?
I don't know. Holy God.
God damn, it's like a sauna.
It is so warm in here.
It is.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm hanging out in Satan's taint.
All right. Well, Jared will be there for the remainder of the evening, and we'll be here with you. So call us up, 508-531-1303. It's Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. Let us know what we can do for you. You can like us on Facebook.
Back rubs.
You can like us on
back rubs.
You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. YouTube channels out there. Search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels. We're the first thing that comes up. Podcasts of all our old shows are up there, and live stream. Live stream's a free app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Go out and get that, and you can listen to WBIM from anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard some rumors, and there's some stuff going on that live stream got bought out by Vimeo or something like that. So I don't know if that's going to end up affecting our streaming at some point in the future. All I know is that live stream's working today, and you can hear us there today. And if anything changes on that in the future, well, we'll keep you in the loop.
So I got into trouble for last week's show.
How did you get in trouble, sir?
Camel toe.
So
That's all I need to say.
So we can't discuss that anymore then.
Nope.
I need to hear that story up there.
I kind of want to hear it on air, but it's just going to dig the grave a little bit deeper.
Just enough to say that my wife's best friend listens to the podcasts now.
Oh, okay,
on a
good.
weekly basis.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
So I got into trouble.
Does she? Never mind. So call us up again, 508-531-1303. We're the show here at WB. We don't care if you stand while you listen to us. We don't care if you take a knee. We don't care what position you're in.
Exactly.
Whatever position's your favorite, doggy style, doesn't matter.
Missionary. Unless you don't have an arm.
Cowgirl's always been my favorite, but I mean, hey, it's all up to it's discretionary. It's everybody's personal feeling.
Yeah.
There you go.
Definitely personally feel it. That's all we got for you.
Oh, God. Sir, on November 11th, so here's the thing. November 11th, there's a potential that we're going to do a show, and that you're only going to hear Jared.
Yes, you are.
So we were originally going to do a show where you only heard Jared and Steve, because I'm going to have surgery on the 8th, and then I'm going to come in here, but I'm probably not going to be able to talk. So Jared's going to be the one I'm going to run all the controls. And originally it was going to be Jared and Steve just having conversations amongst themselves for 6 hours, and that was going to be great. And then Steve messaged us within this past week and said, "Oh, I just forgot. I have a wedding that I'm going to in frigging New Hampshire." I put the frigging part in myself.
For dramatic effect.
Correct. And then he said, "So I guess you guys are on your own for that show on the 11th. Well, number one, stop going to weddings, sir. I can't remember the last time that I've even been to a wedding. Nobody invites us to anything.
I just go for, I'll look in the newspaper and I'll see that someone's having a wedding and I'll just show up.
Doesn't surprise me in the least.
And then they just think that maybe I actually belong there.
No shock there. No. Absolutely no shock.
I'm just there for the food.
This is family, so I can't really not go.
There you go. Well,
I didn't go to my... Never mind.
The moral of the story is that if you can't come up with something to say at 5:12 or 13 or whatever in the afternoon, how are you going to do it for 6 hours?
I didn't show up to my uncle's funeral.
Why are you going back to that? You stopped it and we moved on. Why are you going
Oh, because you made a comment that I shouldn't, how am I going to keep
You
this
could
up?
always bring one of your books in and serialize it.
Yeah.
The course of the 6 hours.
Oh, yeah. No, I got plans.
Steve, I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to play around with your thing in there. But if you do, if you feel like it, you sound far away, and Jared doesn't.
Nope.
I don't know what's wrong with this. I can't even hear myself. In the
Oh,
chorus.
really?
No.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
I was wondering if it was that
How about now?
equalizer deal.
Go ahead.
You're a lot louder.
Well, no.
Am I a lot louder?
Oh
incredibly
God,
loud.
yeah.
Okay, I'll just...
I might have to switch mics.
How about this one? How's that?
Yeah, that one's.
Is that better?
That's
Is that
okay.
better for Steve?
I think what we need to do, because you're just
Yeah.
naturally loud, I
Yeah.
think you guys
We'll
may
just-
just need to trade mics for the next
I'm
spot.
not trading nothing with that guy. His mouth was all over
I
the
don't
other
even
one.
know how you're supposed to turn this damn thing up anyway. So.
I think you do it like this.
I tell you, I do not like these mic thingies.
No, this is not doing it for you.
No,
the
no,
new
no.
mic holders are not.
Mic holders, yeah.
They're horrible.
Not
I
working
can
out
hold
for
my
you.
I can hold my own damn mic.
Oh, there you go. I'll just hold it all night like this and just do that.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think if we just do this, you might get it going.
Hey, you want to get into the first block of classic rock?
Yeah.
Sounds like a great
Oh,
time to do it to me.
I got music to force upon you.
Fantastic. 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Eagles on deck, SNS BIM.
Stay connected with these guys. Like the Saturday Night Soundtrack on Facebook. Follow SN Soundtrack on Twitter. And subscribe to the Saturday Night Soundtrack channel on YouTube. Now you can get as much of Rob, Jared, and Steve as you want. Anytime, anywhere. And who doesn't want that? SNS on BIM.
That's Van Halen. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show. Green Day before that, Billy Squire kicked off the block with a block of Joe, or a double shot of Joe Walsh. Had Eagles first and Joe Walsh by himself all night long. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it louder?
No, you still seem fine. You sound like, you know how every once in a while we'd have Mikey D in here and he would sound like he was in the other room?
Yep.
You sound like you're in the other room.
Maybe I have to change mics then because I don't know what to do with
Yeah, I
this.
don't know what's going on. But like Jared's there, and then I can hear Jared crystal clear. It's weird.
How about that?
That's perfect.
How's this?
That's much better. Yeah, that's better.
Something wrong with
off-
this one,
Yeah,
then.
throw that one off to the side.
Oh,
Call us up, 508-531-1303. Let us know what we can do for you. And Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. Once again, like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack.
yes, you can. Oh, this is so much better.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's so much better. So make it. Is there a way to make a note of that other one? Does it have a number on it or something?
No.
No, great.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it's got 91.5.
Oh, good. Make sure.
Apparently, yes.
There you go. Make sure not to use the 91.5 one.
Okay.
Going forward, and then
Oh, this one's got 91.5 written on it too.
Oh,
Wait,
crap.
so doesn't this one?
Oh, we're in for some trouble now.
Damn.
Damn it.
Hey, you know this? Oh, no. This one's got this little extra piece here. Yours doesn't. And this one doesn't. It's very strange.
Very strange.
I have to say, though, I hate these cradle things.
No,
They're
not a fan of the cradle.
No.
You hear that, Pete? Get these cradle things off this.
Yes.
Don't make me call you in the middle of your nap.
Yeah. I don't feel like I want to touch my mic in case it falls over or something because I...
Steve Rimmer's not a fan of the cradle things.
No.
So make that change immediately, please.
Yes, please.
I don't think we're the only ones.
You know,
No.
the more you mention it, though, like now mine is moving all about. I got to tighten mine up on the top here.
I've tried everything.
We got to do some Kegels here.
So the thing is,
that's
you don't have
better.
to just do it the once. It comes loose again.
No, I know, but I mean, you got to do it a couple of times, but I'll just do it. But we never had to do this before.
No, we didn't.
Is basically what we're getting at. And we're just old men bitching.
Yep.
Because
It's more work.
We don't like change.
Right, because when we come in here to do the college radio show that we're doing at almost 40 years old for me and 60 years old for Steve, and I don't even remember how old Jared
guess what?
is.
Somebody thought I was 45 the other day.
Oh, really?
They freaked out when they found out I was 60.
Did they freak out?
Yes, they did.
Why did they think you were 45? That seems oddly specific.
I don't know.
You look like you're like 37 in 6 months.
Yeah. I'm actually 37 and 8 months. Damn it.
Damn it.
I was wrong. I hate being wrong. So how was everybody's week?
Oh, it's good. Same old.
Yeah, same old for me too.
Nothing special. But you did have one alarming day where you were off the radar for almost the whole day.
Yeah, so I'm off the radar. People are caught, I see that and month end around my work is abysmal.
Oh, really?
There's so much work to be done, and it's like no matter how much you try to get ahead of it, you're never ahead of it. So at the end is always a crunch time. So I
don't even know what you do.
I am a supervisor for a mutual fund company.
Okay.
I'm a senior supervisor, if you want to know the truth.
Okay.
If you want me to pull rank on you.
There you go.
But basically, I do Excel all day and budgets and things of that nature and expenses for funds and
linked
all
to
that.
The stock exchange?
All that sort of stuff. Not really, because it's a mutual fund company, so it's technically yes, but at the same time, what we do is kind of more specific to how the expenses run for the funds within the company and all that good stuff. So anyway, that's what I do. And at the end of the month, it gets really busy. So there was one day, I think it was the second to last day of the month, when it was just super busy, and I didn't even have a chance to look at my phone.
No.
And then there came a point during the day where I just happened to look down at my phone, and I realized that I had like 57 messages from you and Jared. Plus, I had a message from Jared to my wife saying, "Is Rob okay? We have not heard from him. I'm pretty sure he died because we've been sending him things for 5 hours and we've gotten nothing." Well,
So
I was just...
You did text her then?
Yeah,
yes, okay.
I did.
Good.
Of course
Good
I
for you.
did.
Of course you did.
And then I realized that you had sent a text, a message to my wife, and then I realized, well, now I've got to jump on the grid because now she's going to be all concerned, and it's going to be a thing, and I don't really feel like it being a thing. You know?
Too late. It's already a thing.
It was.
I even made T-shirts. Rob died for a day.
You going to bring those in next week? Yeah. Okay.
R.I.P.
So,
Right.
so
Rob I.R.I.P.
And in the middle of all this, I realized that Jared actually did send me a separate text, like not a Facebook message, but an actual text message. And then he sent me a message and then just said, well, I'm just clarifying because people send Facebook messages sometimes, but you send me texts all the time. And you send Steve and I texts all the time. That's all I'm saying. So he sends me this and he says, "Oh, are you, I've got a favor to ask you." And and I felt bad because he was asking me to do something on Saturday, today. And he's like, "I got a huge favor to ask you, and you will be duly compensated."
Yeah.
And I did not respond to that. And that was the message I didn't respond to, like, all day. And then all of a sudden, I see a message that says, "I think maybe you're dead." F, are you dead? It was just total concern. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it made me feel kind of good that you guys were concerned. And then it struck me that you guys are just concerned because you realize that if I die, the show may end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's that.
then I realized that, well, no, maybe I shouldn't feel so good about myself. You guys are really just concerned about the show ending.
Yeah, that's what we're more concerned about.
So.
It's the show.
Yes.
Because we need someone over there blending the songs together.
Exactly.
They playlists?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what people shouldn't be doing.
We're going to look at that later.
Yeah, it's the 21st century. Please fill out your music logs on the computer.
Have you got that thing working?
Yeah,
it's all set.
it's up and running. Pete was curious, and I calmed his.
Oh, is that who called?
Yeah, that's who called.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, good. Glad I didn't. I almost threw whoever was on the air because they called while I was talking.
Yeah,
And I'm glad it
he
wasn't
wanted
him
to
in
hear
that
some
case.
AC/DC though. for
Oh,
sure.
good.
Yeah,
Good. We'll do that.
yeah, we'll put that on.
Anything specific?
No,
Okay, cool.
nothing.
Great. then I guess we'll do it when we get to it then. So call us up, 508-531-1303.
I think we both have to start talking like that.
No.
Yeah, just for the sake of it.
You know, maybe if you guys had something
is
coming
like
up
this-
that was an operation on your throat, it's all connected.
But
It's all connected.
you're almost like a month away and you're sounding bad already.
Yeah, I don't really understand why it's happening. It's just there's just strain on my vocal cords or something, and I don't know what it is.
You know how sometimes, like in movies, like certain movies, someone will come up to an inanimate object and touch it, and then it will become animated and talk. Mm-hmm. Right? It feels like...
What, like in Disney movies or something?
It feels like Bryan Cranston, dressed up as like some kind of crazy wizard, walked up to a dirty diaper and touched it, and that's Rob's voice.
Yeah.
I don't have any regrets about what I started saying earlier on the show. I shouldn't have backpedaled. That's all I have to say about that.
That was oddly specific.
Right, wasn't it? Stop it, sir.
What is this garbage?
This is Leave On by Elton John. It's not garbage. It's a great song.
It's garbage.
And it's up next. You got SNS on BIM.
Leave on with
It's Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. ZZ Top before that. Heard Rat, Police, and Elton John all in that block. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
What was the name of that ELP track?
That was Carnival number 9, First Impression 2.
Oh, it's 1 and 2 complete.
There you go. There you go. Steve's got a lot of show and tell in there today.
Oh, yeah. It's weird coincidences tonight, though, sir.
It is. It definitely is. I start playing something in here, and all of a sudden Steve's like slapping an album cover up on the on the glass in
Well,
there.
that's the only ELP track on this double album.
Oh, okay.
But you just happen to have played it.
It's just the whole, yeah.
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 There you go.
Very strange. And this, guys, Alan Freeman,
Yeah.
he was one of my favourite DJs in England. And this is his show, basically.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
2 albums.
Yeah.
I know. I've heard of him.
Two.
Call us up, 508-531-1303. Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. I remembered just a little bit ago that I have to sign the anti-hazing sheet that's back there.
Oh, you're not allowed to haze us anymore?
I'm not allowed to haze anyone
Oh,
anymore.
What did you bring that paddle in for?
Yes.
You'll find out later,
I was
sir.
looking forward to that later on.
Or as our president likes to say about everything, we'll see. We'll see. Does that mean we'll see?
don't know.
What are you talking about?
You know what? I don't even watch him anymore. I don't follow him. I don't look at his tweets. I mean, I'm just done.
Did you see that he started a Twitter war with the mayor of Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're
Why?
an island surrounded by water. Big water. Big water.
Big water. Huge water. Biggest water you've ever seen. So she's basically like, we need a bunch of help here. And do you know what his response was?
Yeah.
He said it's very poor leadership, and they're asking for help when they should be helping, working as a
Themselves,
community to
yeah.
help themselves. What the f- are you talking about?
Yeah.
Isn't he on a golfing holiday right
Yes,
now?
he is. And
Again.
they're looking for federal aid. They're not looking for you to go down there with your orange face, start shoveling some water away, and they're doing whatever you need to do. You wouldn't be able to physically do it anyway because you're an out-of-shape blob.
You see the Jones Act that he lifted this week?
No. I didn't see
Completely
that.
useless.
Oh, really?
It's to make it easier for other countries to be able to ship containers to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Well, but that doesn't help because it's not getting the containers to Puerto Rico that they're having a problem with right now.
Correct.
It's once they get them there, they can't move them around the country because there's no roads.
Right.
There's no infrastructure. There's no drivers. There's no trucks.
The whole Jones thing affects Puerto Rico anyway because it makes it so that only U.S. Country could ship into U.S.
Yeah,
ports, but Puerto Rico is just a U.S. Territory. It's not an official state, so the whole Jones thing already causes enough issues anyway.
It's silly.
The whole thing is stupid. They're Americans in the end.
Right, exactly. That's the whole point.
And he's just like, meh, whatever. They're Spanish.
Right, and people are like,
Puerto Rico? You mean Mexico? F that.
and the
Build
great
a wall.
and the great thing is you can see on social media what the intelligence level of people out there, because they're all saying things like, well, maybe the president should be concentrating more on the
Moron. I love the way you say that.
yeah, right.
Yes.
Should be concentrating more on Florida, helping Florida and Texas because they're in the United States. Well, so is Puerto Rico, you dumb sons of bitches.
Yes.
You know what it is, too?
Yeah.
I think the reason why he's kicking this up, and I said this earlier to someone, is that because Tom Price, or whatever his name is,
Yeah, Price.
that came out that he's been spending taxpayer money on just frivolous trips.
Well,
Him and his wife wants to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, but he resigned yesterday.
Yeah, he resigned yesterday out of
Yeah,
because of the
exactly.
pressure. Like everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Are you kidding me? You're taking my money for you to go fly around?"
Right.
And so he's like, "Oh, let me leave." And I think because of like all that bad publicity, Trump is like, "Well, I gotta take the spotlight off me."
Of
Let me
course.
put it
Of
on
course he
this."
does.
Absolutely.
And then some of his supporters are like, I don't know why you guys are politicizing this. You guys are making this all political. That's not, this blah, 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 blah. But at the end, it was Trump that started this being political when he was like, oh, the Puerto Ricans were told by the Democrats to do this.
Right.
To act bad because they were doing great to me earlier.
Yeah,
Now-
that was exactly what his tweet said. He said basically the mayor of Puerto Rico, who was very complimentary a few days ago, suddenly the Democrats has told them to be very nasty to Trump.
Yeah. are you talking about?
I don't know. I find anybody that refers to themselves in the third person are right.
Right.
A right eight, backside hole.
Meanwhile, he pushes his little tax bill through.
Let's pay it. Let's spend half the week complaining about the NFL as well.
Yes, exactly.
I loved his tweet from a day or two ago when he said that he thinks the NFL are afraid of the owners are afraid of their players.
Yeah.
Great. That's fantastic. Let's pour more fuel on this fire. How's North Korea doing right now, by the way?
Exactly.
Is anybody watching that situation? Or
nobody is.
Are we pouring more interest into whether or not some jabroni stands or kneels on the field for a national anthem?
The thing about the kneeling thing, just 2 quick points, right? As far as I understood, the athletes weren't on the field up until 2009 when it came to the whole Pledge of Allegiance. And the way I understand it further is that the Department of Justice or the Department of Defense donates money to the NFL yearly, about $5.4 million, to have the athletes out there to look patriotic. Because kids nowadays, who are their heroes now? It's not Superman, it's the athlete. So
Right.
they go out there and they make the athletes look patriotic. So that's what this all seems to be. The other half of it is that the guy who started this whole thing, I forget the guy's name, you'll have to forgive me on that one.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, that guy, right? He was
I might be mispronouncing his name. I don't care.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
So he was sitting down originally. He was always sitting it out, right?
Yeah. And this goes back to last year, too.
Yeah. So a 5-star general who had fought in many wars wrote him a letter. He had posted this somewhere. He wrote a letter and he says, "Hey, I appreciate what you're doing. I understand what you're doing, and I follow you on this. Right? It's hard to do this when the country is favoring people who are shooting people, right? Like they get off scot-free, whereas if anybody else, that kind of thing, right?"
I'm losing track, but go ahead.
No. But anyway, this is what the letter.
It's always great when Jared sits down to give us a
This is what
story.
the letter's talking about, right? The letter's going on, but like from the 5-star general.
Let me just turn my phones down a little bit here. Yeah.
The letter goes on about like the guy, the general, saying how much. Well, you had to interrupt me, so now I got to get back on track.
Oh, Jesus.
Basically, the letter says, "I understand what you're doing, but instead of sitting down, why don't you kneel? Because that's what the army would do when they deliver a folded flag to a fallen soldier. By you kneeling, that shows that you are still supporting the armed services and the army and all that other jazz, instead of sitting it out. Instead of sitting down, this looks a little bit more presentable, and it shows a connection to the armed service. So that's what you should be doing instead. And since then, that's what he's been doing." So
But do you think all these other people who are doing that know that? Nobody's making that connection. They're just, this is my protest, I'm going to kneel.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably just seeing that guy. Like,
Right, well, that's
following-
what I'm saying. They
Yeah.
don't understand this whole, because they haven't been enlightened by this whole story about the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that I understood. But, like, still, even so, with everybody still kneeling, it's still kind of falling in line with that letter. Right? Which, in the end, isn't a disgrace to the flag. I mean, like, if you want to look at the code of flags, it tells you shouldn't be wearing it as a...
Right, I was going to say, there was somebody posted I saw a thing on Twitter where somebody posted a whole thing, and they're like, if you want to start getting technical, and it was all the rules that people already break about the flag, you're not supposed to wear it in any sort of decorative fashion.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have, you're not supposed to have it printed on any... paper product that's going to be disposed of, and they showed like paper plates from 4th of July and all that with the flag just emblazoned all over it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
people with it on their lighters and on their flasks and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, you can even go all the way back to like Flint, Michigan, with the fact that we're still sitting here, a country moving on and going on and whatever. Nestle's only spending $200 a year at a bottling plant in Flint, Michigan that bottles water. Right? But yet, Flint still doesn't have good water.
Right.
How is this still a thing? You got to talk to me about disrespecting the flag.
Wow. We covered quite the gambit on this segment.
Yeah, I kind of lost track about a minute into that, maybe. Okay.
I'm just saying, people need to relax and start getting to the real things instead of like going on about stupid stuff.
Exactly. Well, I'm with you on that. I lost you in the middle somewhere, but I'm with you on that part.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're in agreement
Yeah,
there.
we can agree on that.
Welcome to Saturday Night Soundtrack, the only non-Trump supporting alumni show you're going to hear.
Yes, exactly.
Honestly.
I took him a whole bottle of water to get through as well.
It did. You
Yes,
got to
it did.
pace yourself, sir. You only bought one of those.
No, he's got a big one.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot you had a big one.
Yeah, I do.
Don't think about that one too much.
That's confirmed on the website.
All right, here we go. More classic rock is coming up, and no more talking for at least 20 minutes. We promise.
Just saying. Someone get that guy out of office and quick before he destroys America further.
Jesus. 508-531-1303. Call us up. Tell us what we can do for you. Mellencamp up next.
Saturday nights and classic rock. They just go together like bacon and hot fudge sundaes.
Whatever.
Just trust us on this, okay? Bacon and hot fudge sundaes. Yum. The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
Aerosmith from the Permanent Vacation album, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, and Steven Tyler apparently having seizures and stuff.
I heard.
He just had to cancel his... so he's canceled... It's not
Is
like
it his tour or their tour?
It's their tour.
Okay.
And he hasn't canceled everything, indefinitely. I think he just canceled the last 3 or 4 shows that he had to do and put something... The story about the seizure came out a couple of days after he had actually... posted something on either Facebook or Twitter or something to that effect saying, nobody worry, it's nothing life-threatening, but I need to get this fixed right away, and I need immediate medical attention. And everyone was like, oh, holy crap.
Oh, okay.
Good. So let's review. So it's not life-threatening, but holy crap, you need to get something fixed right away. Well, good luck to him then.
Yeah.
Those guys falling all over the place. You got him going out and canceling some tours. Last year, Joe Perry had to cancel tours with the Hollywood Vampires because he had collapsed on stage at one point, and all that was going on. But that's what happens when these guys are getting up at almost 70 years old. So,
exactly.
And they're still touring and all that stuff. So hopefully that'll all come out okay for them. Call us up 508-531-1303. Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. Follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack, and also the YouTube channel's out there. Search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels. We're the first thing that's going to be out there, and live stream. It's a free app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Get it. You can listen to us from anywhere.
I should check that. Make sure it's running.
Yeah, it's running. Well, it was running. I checked it earlier today.
Okay.
I think I checked it around, 3 o'clock or so.
It'll be fine then.
Yeah, it was sounding good at that point, so I think we're all good. Chief Engineer Peter Q. George is here.
Yes.
And is this the first time we've seen him this
Yes, it
semester
is.
or no? Okay.
This semester, yep.
Yeah, so he's well, not ever. So he's here. He's in the office. So I don't know. I find it funny when I say things to Peter like, just joking wise, and I say, he says, I'll be in the office. And I go, I guess we're going to have to be on our best behavior. And he goes, and then he goes, just keep it clean. And then he just leaves the room. I don't necessarily know how to take that, but...
we keep a clean show.
Of course we do. Absolutely we do.
I've distracted Jared. That's why you're not hearing him talk.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Can I ask you a favor, sir?
Sure.
Can you not distract Jared right when we're going on the air? Because this happens all the time. You hand him something, he starts looking at it, and then he doesn't participate in the segment.
I know.
When he's had
That's the reason I handed him something.
25 minutes to maybe, look at whatever he needs to look at before we go on the air.
Did he wear a fake one, Jared?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, then.
That's what you need. That's all you got.
There you go.
Wow, that was intense.
You're right, sir.
What I miss?
You're right. Nothing. Unfortunately, you didn't. I can't tell you missed anything, Ray. Just to give you college kids out there just a little bit of a life lesson.
Uh-oh.
When you get older, things suck.
Yes, they do.
Just a lot. Just everything. The things you don't think are going to suck. You think you're poor now. Wait. Oh, just wait.
Well, first off, you got student debt.
Just right. So you got that. You got that right out the gate. And Betsy DeVos isn't going to do anything to help you. So you're pretty much on your own. You're swimming with the sharks.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't do anything with you on that one.
Yep.
Steve, you and I are married.
Not to
each other. We hasten to point out. And I say this, but then this isn't even going to be a problem that necessarily affects you because you have told me before about how you have the joint bank accounts.
Yes.
Right. So my wife and I don't have joint bank accounts. So
Now, was there a reason for that, or?
We just
Privacy.
Yeah, we've never had our own bank account, so we never merged our bank accounts at any point.
No.
We just always maintained separate accounts.
Interesting.
Which I'm fine with.
Yep.
But
You can hide those hookers that you've been buying.
no, but it also it also affects it affects things when. So I realized how poor I was. No. I realized how poor I was when the mortgage came out sometime last month, and then I only had about $200 between that payment and the next paycheck, and I get paid on the 1st and the 15th.
Oh,
So that's a long period of time.
that is.
And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, number one, how do I live on $200? Because that's $100 a week. That's not a lot of money.
No.
Number two, how do I keep my wife from finding out that I only have $200 for 2 weeks? Because the first question is going to be, well, what have you been spending your money on? And honestly, I don't think no. And can you turn him off?
I
You can't,
wish.
can you?
I really wish.
You're just complaining that I'm not on the air, and now that I'm on the air, you're like, oh,
Yeah, this is my life.
Yeah.
This is the
Great.
back and forth I got to deal with.
my Pornhub subscription is going to be put out.
So here's the problem. So I get, so the problem is I got to number one figure out how can I live on this. Number two, I got to find out how can I keep my wife from finding this out. Not only because I don't want her to ask, because honestly I've been really good. I bought a couple of Blu-rays last month, but I mean other than that I haven't really been spending that much money on my own. What I don't want her to say is maybe you need a second job again,
Uh-oh.
because in no way am I, because I know the next immediate thing is going to be maybe you should go back to work at Target. F that I am not going back to work at Target.
Nope.
You're going back.
Can you imagine? No, I'm not going back. Can you
Double
imagine?
B in red and khaki again? Wow.
I can't even imagine it.
Freaking scary.
Trump won.
I
Yeah.
I can't imagine it, and because I can sort of imagine her saying that is why I keep her from trying to find these things out at all costs. It wouldn't work for you, sir, but that's the situation I find myself in. So if you kids out there think that growing up is all glamorous and you're going to be living the life and you're going to be making all sorts of money hand over fist and all this other stuff, well, no, that just doesn't work that way.
It actually might for the kids that went to school for not radio shows and liberal arts.
Well, and you know what the kicker is that I didn't go to school for radio shows either. I went to school for business management.
Oh, yeah.
So
It looks like you're handling your business just well.
this was sort. Oh yeah, I'm doing
He's
great.
managing his
I mean, the
business.
good thing is I have a job and I have a house and I have a vehicle, which I guess is good enough for now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, well, holy God. So I got paid again today. And I just feel like, now I feel like I'm just rolling in the dough. And I got to remind myself that I need to be careful because I'm going to come up on this situation again in a couple of weeks where I'm then going to have to live
So
on
you
whatever's
don't get-
left over.
You get paid first and the 15th.
First and
and
the 15th, that's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the money is good when it comes in because it's for a whole half a month. But at the same time, you got to remember that and sort of pace yourself so that you have some money left over in the account when you get that long stretch between when you've paid the mortgage and then you got to go out and live your life. And it's just not, it doesn't work necessarily all the time. So my wife gets paid every week and I'm so jealous. Like she'll be like, oh, I got to go cash my paycheck again. I'm like, oh, that must be great. I don't know anything about that.
Now, my wife looked at the couch the other day, which is not an old couch. I think we've had it for like 4 years. And she goes, oh, we need a new settee. I'm like, how about a new pair of pants for me to wear to work instead of the threadbare 2 pairs that I have to switch between the two of?
And she said, no.
She's like, oh, you can buy your pants whenever you want. I'm like, oh, yeah, you tell me that we've got like $10 left in the account.
Exactly.
More than that to buy pants.
So and that basically also means that I'm spending 2 weeks trying to steer my wife away from events and activities that could possibly involve us spending money, or more specifically, involve her expecting me to be able to spend money that I don't have.
So now, how do you split having 2 completely separate bank accounts and keeping your own money? How do you split everything up?
Well,
How does that work?
Well, we just arrange it so that we both pay certain things. Like I pay the mortgage and she pays the cable bill and the light bill. I pay the water bill, but then she pays the electric bill. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
okay.
it's all kind of broken
Relevant.
out that way. We both basically have just certain bills we know that we pay. I pay for the landscaper that comes over because I'm incompetent and have broken like 3 lawnmowers.
Yeah.
So we've decided that me owning a lawnmower was not a good thing. So we have a landscaper now that comes, and that's $50 a pop, and I pay him. And that's just a whole deal.
Okay.
So that's how we split that up.
Okay.
What are you shaking your head at me for, sir?
I just don't understand.
What don't you understand?
Cut your own grass, man.
No, because you know what? It's worth.
Does he have a lot of grass?
He has a significant amount.
You know what? And I have mowed my own lawn before because, as I mentioned, I've had 2 or 3 lawnmowers in the past that are now broken.
You broke them.
But here's the thing: not only do I, because I run over crap because I don't care and I just want to get it done. So here's the thing: to me,
hello, tree stump.
hey, Rock, F you.
You're in my way. I'm trying to get to my Pornhub.
Don't give me that. That doesn't even make sense. Don't give me that look. No, but the thing is, for me, it's worth $50 each time so that I don't have to do it. And I'm not going out and buying machinery I'm going to break.
I guess.
I'd just rather not deal with the hassle. I'd rather pay this guy to do
Why don't
it.
you just let it overgrow?
And he
just
doesn't.
Be that weird house on the corner.
Well, we kind of are in the front, except for the guy that he weed whacked that a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I was actually going to applaud you for that.
No, don't applaud me. Applaud the landscaper who took it upon himself to do it.
Well, none of Trump has his way.
You know what was great, though, is that my wife thought that a landscaper. First of all, our landscaper is very pro-Trump, extremely pro-Trump.
Really?
Second of all, he's an adult Caucasian male. So there's that. My wife had bought a scarecrow from that Sunshine Gardens place.
What is that?
A real scarecrow?
It was a cheapy scarecrow.
Okay.
And put it where the overgrown grass in the front had been because the grass had turned all brown.
Oh my God! Did he kill it?
No, but it kind of ruined the aesthetic because we actually had a good-looking fall thing going out there because we had all the overgrown grass, but he had sprayed it with some weed killer, so it was all like brown and light beige, like kind of hay looking.
Yeah.
So she put the scarecrow in there.
Looks fantastic.
And it looked like it was in a field of hay. It was great. And then he came and whacked it all down. Now she had to move the scarecrow to the end.
You should have seen his front yard. Not that anybody out there cares, but you should have seen
absolutely
his front
not.
yard. It would look terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
It needed some work.
Yeah, it needed some bad work. And then he also needs to power wash his house.
I've explained to you that I don't have the power washer in my possession at this point.
But you'd gladly pay some stranger to come over and cut your grass. So go pay a guy to rent.
I'll pay my brother-in-law to bring the thing back to me because he's probably got to fix something on it because I think the power washer was broken too.
Just go rent one.
No.
Yep. This is stupid.
No, I don't care.
Nobody cares about this conversation.
They don't.
This has nothing to do with music.
Let's get into music.
Nothing at all.
Or hating Trump.
Here's the Stones for you. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. You got SNS on BIM. Yeah! Guns N' Roses 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack Supertramp. Before that, Rolling Stones. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
This thing loosened itself again.
Ah, Jesus, Steve. Call us up, 508-531-1303. Let us know what we can play for you. And it's Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. That's how it's going to go.
So I just discovered that Hot Topic sells records now. Everybody's getting in on the act.
Well, that's great. Hot Topic's getting in on the act, but at the same time, you go into a Newberry Comics, depending on which one you go into, and half of it is clothes.
I know.
Which, I mean, I like some of their T-shirts here and there, but at the same time, half of it is clothes. Like, I don't understand. Can we get more of the... And their music or their movie selection is abysmal.
Is it really?
Like, I've gotten to the point now, like, we go to the mall and we walk in, and we'll walk right by the store, and my wife's like, she knows I like Newberry Comics, and she'll point to it, and she's like, do you want to go in there? And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
But then again, they were the only music store that managed to stay open through the bad times.
That is true.
And they only did that by diversifying themselves into things like clothing. So
that is true, but at the same time, it's like I want to be able to go in there and get more. The store in Braintree used to be fantastic. You used to be able to go into Braintree, and you'd have 2 floors, and the bottom floor was all movies, and you could just walk through that thing, and there was a ton of stuff, and you could find. This was in the days even
this
before
is a plaza, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the days before you could even look a bunch of stuff up on the internet and find out what was available. So you'd find like hidden gems. You'd find things you didn't even know were released. Now the mystery is over because you got the internet, and I've got sites that I follow. I know everything that's released. Whether or not a store is going to have it is another matter. But I know if it's available. So,
exactly.
but now you can't do that. You get in there and it's a quarter music and movies, and everything else is a bunch of clothes and action figures for adults and a bunch of junk that I don't need.
I want to exercise my nerdiness and go in there and buy music and comic books. If I wanted to shop at Forever 21, I would go to Forever 21.
Exactly. There you go.
Cut it out.
Knock it off.
Who really shops at Newberry Comics anyway? For clothes. Oh, let me go in there and get some new jeans. Where are you going to get new jeans? Newberry Comics.
Right.
Like jeans, is that a new comic book series? No, it's pants, You put one leg in, you put the other one, and then finally your butt goes in. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Who honestly, like, I mean, like, I'd like to know who around college or high school or the office, right?
Yeah.
Goes to.
I think the clothing side of Newbury Comics is an add-on.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You just happen to be in there and you see a pair. Oh, I might as well pick those up as well.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, who goes in there and goes, oh, hey, I like the way your shirt looks. Where did you get that shirt? Newbury Comics.
I have T-shirts that I bought at Newbury Comics.
T-shirts, yeah.
Yeah, T-shirts are different because that's music related.
Right.
I can get that, but like if someone goes, I like your cardigan. Where'd you get it? Newbury Comics.
I don't think a lot of people say I like
Drop
your
off,
cardigan.
man. Drop off.
You know, I don't necessarily think that's a sentence that's
Drop
said all
off?
that often.
Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, let me
Yeah.
tell you real quick about that phone call.
Please do.
We got 2 requests.
Was it a regular?
Yeah. Was it right? No, I don't know. Maybe we got 2 requests.
How do you not know?
not know?
You answer the phone every week. You're the only person who answers the phone, by the
It
way.
was a new guy. It was a new
Okay,
guy.
so
Okay,
it
good.
wasn't a regular then. That
But
was
no,
the
but
answer
he-
to that question.
No,
was
he
it
was
a
a
regular?
regular.
No, it wasn't.
How difficult is this?
No.
So
He was regular
difficult.
because he would listen. He listens all the time, so that makes him regular.
All right, continue,
See
please.
what I'm saying? Whatever.
This is already nobody.
I know he likes it.
Continue.
So he had 2 requests.
Okay.
He would like to hear a song. I wrote it down on a piece of paper like I usual.
Can you read his handwriting?
Yeah, am I going to be able to read
Yeah,
this
you are.
piece of crap? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a great tone.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing is, he requested a topic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is there any genre of music that we completely do not understand? Oh, huh? That's a good one. I like that one.
That is a good genre. It's a
I think
good
we
question.
might have to save that for another segment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we can mull it over.
I'll think
gotta
about it. I
definitely.
already got one popping into my head.
So Trevor can sit there and,
Yeah.
sit there on the edge of his seat.
Oh, Trevor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you know him.
I do.
Yeah, so what do you think? Regular?
Steve, he is a regular.
There
he is
you
a
go.
regular. He has
Thank
called into the show before.
All right.
There I go, nothing.
There you
We
go.
asked you the
On
question
the
and you
road
hem and
again.
hawed, and you gave us 3 different answers.
I give you 4.
Yeah, right.
I'm playing 2D shelf.
Devil's Advocate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2D shelf.
2D shelf. 2D.
So there were 2 fat guys
this?
that went.
Oh, how you doing?
Hello there.
So there were 2 fat guys that went walking through Walmart today looking for snacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
Well, it was Jared and myself.
Okay.
And so we wander in there. And first of all, it's like I'm trying to find out where everything is because I'm used to going to Cumberland Farms. So now, and I'm used to going to the Walmart in Plymouth. So now this is like we're not in Kansas anymore type of deal. I'm trying to find where everything is, and all of a sudden I find
Jared.
No, yes, and I also find cookie butter Oreos.
Do you know what cookie butter is?
Cookie butter Oreos?
Yeah.
Not a clue.
So like
Sounds like a rusty faucet.
you know those biscotti cookies things?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they make cookie butter out of them, and you can buy jars of cookie butter, or you could just have cookie butter in between the 2 Oreos.
I have a butter sauce story.
Is it appropriate for the radio?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see Last Tango in Paris?
No, I don't buy peanut butter because I don't eat it on a regular basis. But my wife asked me to pick up some peanut butter.
Yeah.
And,
You sure this is good?
yeah, I went to buy peanut butter and I'm looking at the Peter Pan and all the major makes. I couldn't find anything that wasn't, like, non-fattening or fat-free. The only one I could find...
It's because it's peanut butter, sir.
I know, but I wanted something that had everything in it. I don't want it to be free of anything. The only one I could find was Reese's peanut butter.
No, wow.
That wasn't fat-free.
They didn't have like
salt-free.
Skippy or stuff because I get
Yeah, but every jar I picked up, it was either fat-free, salt-free, or something free, low-calorie. I just wanted regular peanut
just
butter
want to die as
with
soon as
everything
possible.
in it.
because I either get Skippy or I get Jif, and I get the super crunchy one because I love crunchy
Oh, she
peanut
wanted
butter.
creamy. I had to get creamy.
Yeah, my wife will only eat creamy too.
But no, I wanted everything in it because she needs that stuff.
Right.
You know, she doesn't want it to be salt-free.
It doesn't need to be without all that stuff.
No.
It needs to be with everything it's supposed to come
Exactly.
with in nature. I get that.
Yes. Yeah.
At any rate, I'm very excited that I actually purchased the cookie butter Oreos.
Okay.
They're back there. We will have them for dessert after our dinner.
Excellent.
I
I
will
was
let
about
you
to ask
gentlemen
you
try
about that.
some, and then we can see we can pass a yay or nay vote on those.
Good.
Because I wasn't going to. I was going to try to behave myself, but Jared's the devil on my shoulder when I go shopping. Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, ooh, look at this. Cookie butter Oreos. And he's like, what is cookie butter? And I'm like, cookie butter's delicious. He's like, get them!
I have another
All right.
beef about Stop and Shop as well.
Oh, please.
The chocolate bar that we started eating the last session, that was like the Oreo chocolate bar, yeah?
Yeah.
That sold out every single time I go in. Buy more then. If you keep selling out, get more.
Yeah, get more.
Steve just wants a candy bar.
Yes.
Is that so difficult?
I was told I had to buy candy bars by my wife. So I do. I buy 3 a week. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. She's trying to fatten me up.
The man just wants a candy bar. Can we please just try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Acquiesce? No, acquiesce is not the word I'm looking for. Can we just do it for him, please?
Yes.
That's all I'm asking. So we got a twofer coming up, Steve. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, it's Mark Bolan's birthday, or would have been today. He would have turned 70. So I think you were going to play. Sorry, I have to call it Bang Gong in this country.
You do.
So you were going to play
and get it on in
Bang-a-gong.
parentheses. Yes.
Yeah. And I get so sick of hearing that one T-Rex song. I wanted you to play Jeepster, which was the single that came out after Get It On.
There you go.
So we're going to play them both back.
We're going to play them both. We're going to start with Jeepster, and so you got 2 songs coming off Electric Warrior.
This only got to number 2 in the charts in England, whereas Get It On got to number 1. So,
and of course, Steve doesn't agree with that.
Yeah,
because if it's the popular song, Steve just doesn't want to hear about it. So there you go. In honor of Mark Bolan, here's a twofer of T-Rex coming up for you. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater, SNS BIM. The Kinks are on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. Wrapping up a big block of classic rock there. Heard from the band, Molly Hatchet, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Boston Steppenwolf, Beatles, Allman Brothers, Foreigner, and T-Rex kicked that whole block off. That was an epic block.
Kicked it with big, giant.
Because I was just
kicking.
I just needed to eat my food, and I just didn't want to.
My very least lukewarm food.
Yeah, it was. So did you like Jeepster?
I did like Jeepster. Yeah, that was a good song.
It is a good song. I was surprised that. He had like 4 or 5 number 1 hits in England, but
we know, Steve. We know you don't understand why "Bang a Gong" is the only song you hear over here in America. We get it.
Why?
We understand. Relax about it.
I don't know.
No, it's fine, Steve.
I know.
Just let it go.
There were 3 big bands in that era: T-Rex, Bowie, of course, and Slade. And of course, only Bowie really made it over here.
Glam songs.
Glam rock. Yes. Glam.
It's their fault that we have Motley Crue.
Yes.
we can do it too. We can do it better. No, not really.
No, just stop it.
Just knock it off.
Oh, cool. You're gonna put Satan in there too? Great.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's just that's terrific that you guys are gonna put Satan in there.
I got to be nervous during that last block when Jared was talking to Peter without my being there at first, and I was like, "Oh God, why is he going in there and talking to Peter?"
It's very nervous making.
I realized what it was.
What was the answer?
We got shut down.
Yeah, we got shut down hard.
But Peter makes a good point because everybody around here is an animal, and they would just make an absolute mess out of the things that we bring in and try to be nice about.
Yeah, that's true.
So you know what I mean? Like when you think about it that way, well, it sort of makes sense. It would be nice if we were all adults, but we're not adults.
No, we're in a college campus.
We are, but I mean, just in general here at the Bridgewater State University, no, just no.
Oh, never mind. What if we brought it in and then took it away again?
I actually thought about that originally, like just portable.
We just carry it in.
Just carry it in and out.
No, let's not do that either. So a topic has been put down for us to discuss.
I made notes.
Thrown on the tape. Wow, you made notes. You've been doing better than I have.
Yeah.
So, Jared, you took the phone call and you got the original idea was communicated to you. So why don't you tell us about it?
So the topic idea, and I think we should keep on taking topics from our audience.
Oh, I have no problems doing that.
Yeah.
we run out of ideas anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, as you can tell.
And then I look to you guys, and you guys are like, I got nothing.
We're running on fumes.
No, man.
Well, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. The topic was. What genre of music do you not understand?
Is it what? Okay, let me ask you this: is it that you don't like, or that you just don't understand in general?
I think it might be a little bit of both.
Okay,
our listener didn't really say.
I can see where it would play in. So,
but I mean, it's a great topic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right, so,
who wants to go first?
Well, I wrote down my first one.
Well, Steve's anxious to do this, and he's got notes. So let's start with Steve.
The new style of country music, I just don't get. It used to be a time when you could hear a song and you go, "Oh, that's country."
Right.
Yeah. Now they don't sound like anything in particular.
It's basically just pop.
Pop. It could be rock. It could be a little bit twangy. So you could feel it was country, but it's very hard to tell these days.
Yeah,
it's almost like they don't want to have a boundary anymore. So new country would be one of them.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them. That's kind of sad because it's like it's crazy because that's kind of stuff that like Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson.
Oh, yeah.
And Cash were like rebelling against because you had like the what the hell? I can't think of that guy's name.
Conway Twitty?
Yeah, him going around and they're like, whoa. We don't want to play that Memphis BS. You know, like, because it's all poppy. That's not country. That's junk. and then you have now, like, Taylor Swift coming out.
Right. I didn't even know she was part of. She actually considered country.
She was
yeah.
back
Really?
probably about, 6-7 years ago or so,
Yeah.
and she has slowly morphed into just complete pop.
Yeah, she lost her virginity. Now she's...
I also said rap.
Rap.
I mean, I used to get it. I used to. And I could understand it, but not anymore.
No, like modern rap for me. I don't really understand too
Correct.
much. Where they're not even really rapping; they're just saying words.
I got to tell you, like I mean, and you wouldn't think me doing this classic rock show and being a white nerdy kid. I love the original stuff that came out, like the Dr. Dre stuff, the original Snoop
original.
Dogg stuff before he was, what he is now. Whatever. I'm talking about this stuff that really started putting it on the map.
Things like Grandmaster Flash. That's the sort of stuff that I enjoyed.
There you go.
White lines.
Yes.
But like some of Tupac stuff, not all of it. That stuff I appreciate, and then I hear rap now, and I'm like, that sounds like R&B, and it sounds like crap.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not even good R&B; it's crap R&B.
It's like they don't want any boundary. It's almost like new rap is almost like new country.
Right.
It can be interchangeable.
Yeah.
There's just so boundaryless.
Yeah.
And the thing too was like I had a roommate that kind of like, because I was very stern about I don't like the rap at all. At the 100%, I'm like a rock and roll guy. But then I lived with a roommate, and he educated me on like the history of rap. Going from Sugar Hill all the way up from Dr. Dre, B.I.M.,
Sure.
B.I.G., and all those guys. B.I.M. I know that guy was great.
Biggie
But,
Smiles.
like all those guys. So like I got like a real good appreciation of it, like in the artistry behind it. Like it goes beyond just their lyrics and went into like the song choices that they chose to do the sampling of and all like this like rich history. I'm like, holy Christ! I just thought it was just a guy putting on a beat machine and going, "What's up?" ABC type of thing, and then but like I got a better appreciation of it anyway.
There you go.
But then like following it a little bit, like I wasn't like an avid fan,
right?
But following it over the years, like I started seeing like there was some excitement about a couple of different artists. Like first like when Kanye was coming up, because he was a very big music producer,
sure,
and like he would produce big music hits for like Jay-Z and whatnot, and then he produced his own records, and then that kind of all right, this is exciting, and then he kind of went bat crazy,
right?
Like another guy was Kid Cudi. Right, like he was like he produced this album. It was like a concept album. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then, like after that, he kind of faded away because he was doing the music, the movies thing. Donald Glover, who started out as a YouTuber thing, the new rap situation that's happening. But then that also kind of went off into like hipster weirdness. But that's one of them. Something for me that I don't understand is EDM.
I was going to say EDM. Well, EDM was going to be one of mine.
Yeah.
I've got two, and EDM is one of them.
Yeah, EDM. Again, but
You lost me. What the hell was EDM?
Electric dance music.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's a lot of... there's also... It depends on what electric dance music you're listening to, because there's some electric dance music that just... It's basically just electric pop. And then you have some real, like... EDM that's like hardcore EDM, and people go to these festivals for EDM, and holy Christ, the things that go on there.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Yeah.
Molly and ecstasy and all sorts of orgies and ridiculousness.
Like, I remember electronic music.
Me too.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I enjoyed it.
It's important to keep EDM separate from electronic music, because they're not the same
No,
thing.
it's almost like a subgenre. And then like after that, it splinters out into other subgenres. I think that's almost like a byproduct of the whole internet situation.
Right.
I'm getting philosophical, and I'm sorry, you got me going. But like, I think that we have all these different subgenres of music now and other things in life because of the internet's everywhere, and everybody like has to have their like little pieces of taste that's everywhere. Like that's why you have pirate metal. Like, do you know that pirate metal exists? It's a whole subgenre of metal dedicated to like pirates. And like they sing in pirate. It's insane. That exists, and there's a whole subgenre for it. Perhaps on my show,
I used to like Christian metal.
Christian metal?
Yeah.
You know, a little bit that was
What was
okay.
that one band that used to wear black and white? You saw a yellow and black stripes? Striper.
Oh, Striper.
Yes. Of course.
What was that band that used to dress in the stripes? I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
I did put down another category, though.
What was that?
I put down musicals.
Musicals. Okay.
I can't get into the fact that there's a bunch of people on stage and all of a sudden they burst into singing.
I can't get into that either, and it's not my... although...
Or policemen dancing down the street, swinging their batons and singing, you know? Now,
I will say that I can understand the appeal, but it's not my thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
into
I'm the same
musicals.
thing.
I was actually pretty disappointed when I watched La La Land, and it turned out to be a musical.
Yeah.
I don't... You would think I would have known that going in. Somehow I didn't.
Yeah.
I just thought they sang and danced within the movie, but didn't break out into song, like making it a legit. Because you can have a movie about musicians where they play a lot of music and they dance, but it's not necessarily a musical unless they're just talking like you and I are. And then all of a sudden I'm like, Steve, I do not understand this kind of music. And then you're like, I don't either. Like, that's a musical, and then I can't get behind that. When they start doing that, I'm like, holy God,
I would
I
have
am in
had to have
trouble.
left the theater. I couldn't have sat through it.
I feel like if you went into La La Land not knowing that was a musical, that's kind of like going into Moonlight not knowing that that's about a homosexual black guy.
I didn't know about the homosexual part. Going into it, for real. I did not know that. And then I was like, oh, I see what's going on. This movie still sucks. Like, it was just not my thing.
I'm going to upset the theater community by also backing up with Steve. Like, I don't understand it because, like, with the musical thing, it's all like a lot of the cadences are the same, a lot of the notes are the same. You know, with the singing of the musicals. Like, I think the closest musical I ever appreciated was Chicago, but I think that's true for any man. Any man that like sees Chicago, they're like, yeah, that was a damn fine musical. You know,
I could see that. I'm sort of
the only one I
sort of
liked
in that
was
camp.
the one we were talking about last week, actually. When I said that I'll see you guys in the parking lot.
oh yeah,
West Side Story.
yeah, West Side Story.
Now that had good music.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, some people can look at it and go like, oh, look at the Grease. You know, oh, I can get behind Grease or Rocky Picture Horror Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's one.
I'll give you that.
One of the few musicals I really enjoy.
That was one I walked out of.
Astounding.
Yes.
I walked out of that one many times.
Sure, many times.
Many times.
You just kept going
I
just
just
to
kept
walk
going
out.
just to walk out.
That's
And
awesome.
people are like, oh, I can't believe you're here to. Oh, now you're.
Yep, nope, I decided to walk
you
out
need
again
to- wait,
because
come
there's no
back.
need.
You
I
gotta-
did. I never did it, but I always wanted to do one of those midnight showings where everybody takes props
spoons
what
and
have you.
whatnot.
My wife and I have done
Distracting.
several of those.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You nerd.
We've worn costumes.
Nice.
Oh, it was great.
Oh, have
were you
you
in
ever
the
done the
lingerie?
Sound of Music one?
No.
Because that would be interesting as well.
Why did Nazis come out?
I
Is
don't
that like-
know, but
is that like a film that they show a Trump supporting?
Probably.
although
We're getting off topic.
the other musical I do like is
Way off topic.
"Springtime for Hitler." The producers, remember that? The songs in that were great.
It's great.
The Point was good.
Yeah.
The Point. Remember The Point?
I do remember
With
The Point.
Like Oblio?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one. Anyway,
I have the album.
what's the other music thing that you put
The
down?
music thing that I put down is metal, but hardcore metal. Like, and I know people who are on Facebook who are into it. Like, they're like, "Oh, Every Time I Die is playing this weekend. Can't wait to go." And then I see these things, and I'm like, maybe I should listen to it. And there's something I'm not getting. And then I listen, and it's like, no, I still don't understand it.
You know-
I still don't. But they could be singing about anything, and I wouldn't understand what they were saying.
Exactly.
You know, they could be giving me a recipe for egg salad. Take eggs, chop them up, put the mayonnaise in, but not too hard. Dude, relax.
Your voice comes across perfectly with the gruffness as well. yes.
It's like Cookie Monster singing, and I don't get it. You know,
I came through with that whole outfit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was in a couple of those bands and all that.
Oh,
other
God.
stuff. Yeah, it was great.
I just don't. I can't
part
listen
in
to
the
it.
band did you take?
Like, huh?
What part in the band were you taking?
I was the singer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I wish we had
It was,
some...
Why don't you
great.
try? Give us a little bit. Give us a few bars
I
of some of the
actually-
songs you remember.
I actually think that on the Jared show, they might be a little bit.
Oh, dear.
What Jared show is this? What is going
November
on?
11th. 11.
Remember, on November 11th.
Got questions? Ask a Freemason.
Yeah. I got answers.
The listeners don't know about the new thing for the November 11th yet, do they?
What?
Well, remember we talked about it last week. That
Yeah,
it
well,
was
I
gonna
talked
be-
about it earlier in the show, and I said that
Oh, you
you
did?
weren't going to
Yeah.
be here,
That's right. Okay.
and that it was probably going to only be Jared.
Well, there's a couple of good hard, post hard, because then you get some genre post
right, because I have to because that's the thing is you got to be really specific. It's like I don't like that specific aspect of metal. Do I like Metallica? Yes, of course. Do I like things that might be a little bit harder but not? Yes, of course I do. Like I don't need a band that sounds like Alex Jones. You know what I mean? Like that's not my cup of tea.
No,
I just don't get. I can't get behind it. I can't listen to it. I don't headbang. It's not my thing.
And you definitely did not like Anthrax with Public Enemy.
I didn't like playing it.
Good.
I thought it was good.
The program because I was trying to get you. Back in the day, when I still had hope for this show and hope for being able to rein you in, I thought maybe you understood the format we were going for.
That's classic rock.
You took the request, I played it, and then I was like, no, he doesn't understand the format of this program.
Well, when you see the title, and I put down "Bring the Noise,"
I get it.
By Anthrax and Public Enemy, you almost should be like,
I get
this
it.
doesn't sound like Three Dogs Night.
But at the same time, just... Holy God, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I liked when I played the Motorhead.
Well, that was...
Before 8 o'clock and someone was
that
not
was
happy.
genuinely hilarious because I've heard that episode on YouTube by the way, on YouTube, search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels, podcasts of all our old shows are out there. And right after that block, we come on the air and I said something about kicking off the block with Motorhead. And you were like, thanks for ruining everyone's day.
Yeah. I guess
any other genres?
Genre.
I mean, EDM and metal was and the really hardcore metal that was definitely it for me. Mm-hmm. Everything else, I'm not a fan of old country. Like even I'm definitely not a fan of new country. I'm not a fan of old country, but I can understand it. You know what I mean?
Waylon Jennings.
I see the appeal, even if it's not my thing.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of music that I can't see the appeal, and it's not my thing.
Mm-hmm. Mine for me would be like this post-modern art rock stuff that they got going, like where it's just like a guy like tapping on a garbage pail with a kazoo, and it's like he's not.
Those are just street performers, and they're probably homeless.
No. Like I can't think of the artist's name right now. I can't think of the artist's name right now.
Now, you see, one of my favorites. Scott Walker, he's always trying new sound techniques. I mean, he had his drummer punching a slab of beef once, and that's what his bass drum was. So I like that type of thing.
For me,
and it was in a cardboard box.
Mike Patton and John Zorn is about as close as I'll get to that whole genre. Because
I have one of those in my car. I almost brought it in, and I thought, no, Rob really wouldn't want to play this on the radio.
Because, I understand art and all that and subjective and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, like when I'm listening to music, there's a reason why we have music theory. Mm-hmm. And to throw out music theory for the sake of art, then you're not really making music. You're making just plain art, which is different than just music. You shouldn't be calling it music. That's my thought.
There you go.
Yeah. What's that group called, by the way? I can't remember.
Which one?
With John Zorn and Mike Patton.
Oh, I can't remember. But
Speaking of stuff that Rob wouldn't want to play on the radio, we got Lisa's request coming up.
Okay.
No, thank you.
I see what you did there, sir.
But we do appreciate that she listens. Her and Tom.
Yeah, we appreciate that you listen.
But dig a little deeper in your catalog.
Just a tad. Just a tad. That's all we're asking you to do, man. Just give it a shot. Here's Led Zeppelin. Thank you. It's off Led Zeppelin 2, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS on BIM. Give us a call. 508-531-1303. It's Bob Seger and 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show. Judas Priest before that, AC/DC. Kicked everything off with Led Zeppelin. And thank you. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
No, thank you.
Hello. Call us up, 508-531-1303. We'll rank on your request, too. But we probably won't because you probably don't call us that often. And when you do, you probably ask for different crap. So
yeah.
There you go. There's that.
Oh, we've got to play some of this later.
What is that?
Bowie.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's live Bowie, though, from the 74.
Bring it in.
It's interesting after this.
Whenever.
Yes, I'll bring it in after this.
There you go. My wife keeps sending me pictures of her cat.
Oh, it's definitely her cat?
It's definitely her cat, yes.
That's not a euphemism?
What name?
Ace.
Ace.
And it just the thing is just that he's just attached to her all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like she's basically established. I mean, first of all, going and getting him when I was at work is basically starting off the bonding process right away.
Oh, yeah.
With me not in the picture.
Exactly.
And then, Saturday nights without me at home is just sort of exacerbating the situation. Mm-hmm. So it's basically just her cat now.
Well,
And
you don't have to bother with it.
well, I mean, I like cats, so I kind of want, you know what I mean? I'd like the affection to be split, but it's not really, it doesn't look like that's turning out too good.
Nope.
Is Peter
Yeah,
George?
I lost that one.
Is Peter George still here?
I don't know.
Looks like he is. I see the lights in there.
Okay.
I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to plan our, trying to plan our bits. That's all.
Okay.
Just speaking of planning bits, I swear to God we're going to get the car squawk thing going. But we need to have better, lighter-hearted conversations, and I need
Death and gloom.
and I need to start hitting record more often. And by more often, I mean at some point because I haven't done it yet.
Now, can't you record it and then edit it down?
Oh, of course I can.
Yeah, of course you can.
But you don't understand, Steve. There would be a lot of doom and gloom to edit out. I'm not even sure if any of it would be usable by the time I was done.
Basically, I'm cripplingly depressed.
Right.
With a black soul.
You might be able to listen to the very beginning when all you hear is Jared going, Jesus, I'm old. I am old. And then I'm like, I'm also old. And you're like, I don't want to be so old. And then it goes downhill from there. So that's all you would hear. You'd basically hear 20 seconds of that. And then it would be over.
Yeah.
But we need to, I guess we just need to up our game.
You can't script it, though. I mean,
No, of course not.
Wouldn't serve either.
And like I've mentioned before, most of what you hear on Car Squawk, especially on the ride home, is going to be from Jared because I don't really talk as we go home. Jared just... It's like you turned a switch on, man, and he just goes. And I'm sure you can imagine, Steve.
Oh, I can imagine.
This isn't difficult to...
I've heard his phone messages.
Sir, please fix that quickly.
What did he do?
Oh,
I don't
maybe
know what
it's
he's
not as
doing.
bad as I thought. Anyway, yes.
It's fine.
Anyway, yes, it's just all, it's basically all Jared all the time.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny, too, because sometimes I leave the show and I'm just dead.
And he's driving you, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but then I get in the car and all of a sudden it just turns on and Rob's like, oh, my God. I'm in for the hell ride.
Why? I don't understand.
What are you doing?
I'm just playing with my microphone.
Stop
Don't.
it. Just don't play with it.
I play with it all the time.
Don't.
I'm sad. And I'm
During that last block, I left the studio to go take a pee, and I can.
Why would you take one? You should leave one.
And I verify. I'm just going to ignore that. I verify that the whole rest of this building. I wasn't in the whole rest of this building. I was just in the hallway and downstairs. Feels immensely better than it does in the studio.
Yeah.
I know. It wasn't so warm in here.
Temperature-wise, I have absolutely no idea. No. This can't be good for stuff.
No,
you know what I mean? You got equipment and everything in here.
Because it's the one week I don't wear a T-shirt that I'm not wanting to show anybody underneath here. So I can't even take my sweatshirt off.
Is it a penis?
Right.
No, it's just a regular white T-shirt, but it's... No.
Oh, it's an
Sort of
A
thing-
shirt.
Yeah, it's
That's
an undershirt.
That's what they're actually called. It's an A shirt.
Is that what they call?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it a wife beater?
No, it's not.
Oh God.
It's not. It's just a regular undershirt.
Oh, okay.
We don't
normally
condone
wear
that.
under a dress shirt.
We don't condone that stuff here.
Do you know how often I say that and I don't even think about it?
It's degrading to women.
I understand that, but do you realize how many times I've said it and I don't even think about it?
Like when you put yours on, does your wife laugh at you?
Why would she?
Now, we have this big thing where I work. They usually tenderizing meat, and I always I refer to it as the wife pacifier. What are you doing with that wife pacifier? You know?
I'm having a hard time with this.
Give me a second, Steve. You seem to say a lot and have a lot of laughing fits and seem to think things are so funny for someone who needs my help for a task.
Yeah.
That sounds like it is not going to be a whole lot of fun.
It's not, but you're going to be compensated well.
That I could basically just say I'm not available
That's
for
okay.
it.
What's the task, anyway?
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, nobody cares.
Okay.
That was a pretty good joke. That was a nice setup. Go on. You got to let that go.
You got anything else in that bag?
I do.
I'll tell you what I'm going to let go.
Yeah, what's that?
The idea that I'm going to be helping you with this crappy task that I don't want to be involved in.
That's fine. I'll let go of the idea that I'm going to give you some compensation for it.
That's fine. That's fine too.
This is for me and Steve.
It's probably a good way to go, sir. Everyone listening to us right now is like, what?
What is happening?
What are they do?
Are they
Click.
Are they like sucking helium up
We're
here?
just gonna turn-
No, that's not it. They got laughing gas.
Right.
You know.
It's like our voices would sound immensely higher if we were sucking helium, sir.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Oh, my God.
All right, here's another block of classic rock.
Oh, I sent you a song.
Coming up. Oh, great. I'll look at it.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I thought you weren't going to do that. I thought you were just going to bring me a song. Didn't we have a conversation in the car about how I hate when you send me songs?
Yeah, too bad.
Okay.
I got to answer the phone.
All right, do it. Another block of classic rock coming up. SNS on BIM.
The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks is on 91.5 WBIM. Bridgewater's weekend all request classic rock experience.
Well, that's Detective at 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show. That is for Lisa and Tom. A song called Fever by Detective.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When I ask for new songs or songs you don't normally request,
Yep.
talking about stuff like that is a good song. Is a deep request. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they don't request it every other week, well, I mean, that makes it all the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was good.
Try to dig junk like that up a little bit more often. And that's what we're talking about.
Yep.
That's all we mean. That's all we mean. That's all we mean. Call us up, 508-531-1303, and well, ask for something that we think we want to play, and we won't berate you about it. How about that?
Yeah.
Do it that way.
You know what we need to play again at some point?
What's that?
Some Montrose
Yes.
with Sammy Hagar.
Nothing was better than the night we played Montrose, and then listening to Alice Cooper on the way home, he played Montrose.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
Yes.
It was one of those nights, and it was
that's
the
right.
It was the same exact song. We played Bad Motor Scooter, and then about I don't know, an hour and a half later or so, driving home, I heard Bad Motor Scooter, and I was like, oh, holy crap!
Yep. That was a big hit. They did have one other one, though, that came off the album. I can't remember.
That was basically it.
No, it had a number title in it.
Yeah.
I'll find it. In fact, I'm going to look through it right now.
We'll do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Good.
So
Good
what else?
job.
So what's going on, guys?
Nothing.
Nothing much.
Nothing. Someone should we should
I'm just reading about this poor woman that got physically beat up because she asked some teens to be quiet in a movie theater.
Yeah, that's the world we're living in.
Yes, exactly.
You know, Puerto Rico. That's not anything, anything to worry about.
My wife has asked kids to be quiet in a movie theater so many times.
Oh my God.
I don't even want to. It's never good. It's never good.
No.
And it's always, and then it's awkward. And then I don't want to leave the theater afterwards because I'm like, they're going to be waiting for us in the parking lot. I'm surprised it didn't, it's like the message you sent us. I'll see you in the parking lot. Well, I think these people are going to see us in the parking lot. And I don't want to, I just don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
You know?
But like the difference is they look at your wife and they're like, yeah, she's going to kick my ass.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, shoot. We better quiet it down.
We better
take it
tone it
easy.
down.
Just take it easy.
Yeah, it's called Space Station Number 5.
Okay.
That would be a good one to play. But anyway.
There we go.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm thinking come back and maybe, keep listening to us in the meantime, obviously, but come back around 9:35 or so. We got to follow up on a segment we did last week. We got to correct something that we were incorrect about on the air. So there was that, because I'm dedicated to, to journalistic accuracy here. So we want to make a correction, and then we got to do a follow up on a story that is far more far-reaching than I thought. It encompasses more than I thought, and we'll just get back into it. And 9:35, come back for that.
Yeah.
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 Do it.
I start getting nothing from you guys at around 9 o'clock.
No, what are you talking about?
No, you know what?
Yeah, we got
I have
plenty
a
of stuff.
phenomenon that occurs to me every time I'm sitting in this show.
Yeah.
About this time of night, I start getting leg cramps. And I can only think it's because it's the only time I would sit in a chair like this one for 6 hours. You know what I mean? So 4 hours into it starts giving me leg cramps.
Here's another old guy thing. You know the thing that I'm actually kind of excited about now that I've gotten paid again?
Oh, yeah.
Is the fact that I know that I now have money in my bank account to buy a new chair from my home office.
Oh.
Because that chair that I've got just isn't doing it good because because I'm fat and I've somehow managed to break it a little bit so that it tilts. I got it from the job lot. It cost like $30 and I put it together myself. That's probably part of the problem.
Hey, did you see what, what's the Swedish place? IKEA.
IKEA, yeah.
You see what happened to them this week?
No.
They joined forces with a company that, that's what they do. They put things like IKEA furniture together for you so you don't have to do it yourself.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, what a good coupling.
I mean, Don't get me wrong. The chair that I want to buy is from Staples, and I'm going to pay the extra $14.99 to have someone deliver it and assemble it for me.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to deal with it. They know what they're doing. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, and I don't feel like spending 3 hours putting a chair together and then somehow breaking it in the process.
Exactly.
And I know that's going to happen, and I just don't want it to happen. So.
Why don't you just do my favor, and then I'll come over and I'll put your chair together, like I put everything else together.
You know, I think about it, and then I think of all the snarky remarks that get made to me, and then I'm like, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe perhaps not. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Got some live David Bowie coming up. Tell us about it, Steve.
Yes, we do. It's from 1974. It was only recently released, though. It was off an album called Cracked Actor, which kind of bothered me because that was the name of a documentary about Bowie that wasn't part of that era, so that's kind of odd. But anyway, no, it's a good
So
live
it's
concert.
anachronistic is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But this is a version of Suffragette City that's a little bit different from what you would expect.
Yeah.
And, by the way, he wrote this song for Mott the Hoople, and they rejected it.
Yep.
Shows what they know.
Yep.
What was it?
Look what they went out on. Did.
Yeah, one song. Congrats, guys. Look at the career of David Bowie, and maybe you want to reconsider.
Well, no, I mean, they gave him this to record after they'd given him All the Young Dudes, because they had a huge hit with All the Young Dudes,
Right.
and they really were trying to ride their own tails after that, so, yeah.
How'd that work out?
Well, he did for a while. Yeah, they were around for a few years.
I don't know. Nobody knows anything other than All the Young Dudes. Here's live Suffragette City, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS Radio Show. Let us know what you want to hear. Call us up. We still got 2 hours of classic rock left. 508-531-1303. It's SNS on BIM. It's Exile on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS Radio Show. That one is going out to Lisa and Tom. There you go. Another reach back request.
Good. Where was that?
Keep doing that. That was Exile.
Oh.
Was the name of the band. And it's one of those songs she requested it. And I said, well, I'll dig it up for you. And then I found it. And I was like, wait a minute, I remember hearing this song. It was in like Man on the Moon or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I was with it, I was with it at that point.
Oh, man. I mean, where these requests have been all these years?
A little bit, right? Like she's kind of been holding all this back.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Why would you hold this back?
Oh, really? I mean, like, this like kind of like makes the other requests a little better when you start giving us a little bit of this deeper catalog stuff. All right, so you request a couple of this stuff, and then you want to throw in there the thank you. Okay, all right, we can talk. You know what I mean? We won't groan every time you ask for a thank you if you throw in a couple of these requests.
Right. We'll harass you less, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
So
This
moving
is
on.
good practice for the 11th, guys.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Yeah.
not for you, Steve, but
I won't
Jerry.
be here.
Definitely for you.
No, I don't understand what's happening here. What's
I don't know.
the silence?
So how are you going to work the 11th?
I'm starting to plan it out.
Okay.
Uh,
You're going to have set... Ooh.
I'm gonna have something that Rob's gonna hate. I'm gonna have a playlist.
Oh, jeez, God. Don't forget that I'm still going to be running the controls in here.
Yeah, that's okay. You'll like my playlist.
Now, did you like my idea of having something a bit longer than just a beep? Just in case you need to use it? Beep. Rob?
Yeah, I mean, the beep thing, I could use that, but then at the same time, it's like, I shouldn't have to beep Jared. He should know what he's doing by now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if he didn't put you in a position where you had to beep him,
No, I know.
it wouldn't be quite as
I
interesting.
know. That's true. That's true. That's like the spice of life, right?
Yeah.
I think if we go over our show,
Yeah.
like the whole length of our show, I think that it wouldn't be me that you're worried about for having their own show.
It's an interesting part. It's an interesting point you make, but Steve's going to be in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So, you know
but
what I mean?
you know
I
what
don't
I'm
have to
saying.
worry about him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if it was Steve that had his own show, you might have to worry more about Steve.
Oh, that's actually a good point. That would actually be horrifying. I don't know what Steve would come out with, although if he's getting himself in trouble, maybe he's going to toe the line a little bit more. Who knows what the deal is.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Great. We did a bid last week. We did a yay or nay. We all ended up on the nay side. We played a song that we said was by Bhad Bhabie. And
Bhad Bhabie.
because it's spelled BHADBHABIE. If any of you don't know who Bhad Bhabie is, she is the Cash Me Outside girl from Dr. Phil.
Why don't you cash me outside?
How about that? That's why she has and now apparently she has a record contract for some inconceivable reason. The first thing that I wanted to clear up for everyone
How about that?
is the fact that apparently we were pronouncing her name wrong.
How do you pronounce it?
All last week. Well, luckily she's here to explain it to all of us.
Good.
Because we're idiots, apparently.
Is he stupid? We're gonna take another spelling class, okay? Bad. When you really think about it, bad. Bad. You kind of hear the H in there, right? Baby. Bad baby. Same way you would spell it.
So it's supposed to be
Say
baby.
it the same way you would spell it regularly.
I thought it was baby.
B-A-D-B-A-B-Y. Bad. It's just I spell it different. The same way. Same way this idiot's pronouncing okay?
What?
Bitch.
So there you go. So you've just been schooled. I was saying Bobby because I thought it was supposed to be like Barbie.
Oh, like
But without
no, when I read it, I thought it was supposed to be baby.
Well, this guy. Well, obviously Steve knows.
Baby.
Steve knows we're just a bunch of
in the
idiots.
know.
We're just a bunch of idiots here, but Steve knows what's going on. The good thing is, after I did some research, not only did I find out that her classic iconic hit "These Hoes," Heaux, by the way.
Yes.
Not only is it out there on YouTube, it's on iTunes and it's mastered for iTunes, and you can purchase the single if you so choose.
Of course it is. They got to make their money back somehow.
In addition to that, she has this fine song, which is called "Hi Bish."
Hi, bish.
Hi, bitch. I do not sniff it or roll it. Nope. It do not drip when I pull it. Nope. I do not run, I reload it. Nope. I do not save it, I throw it. White J's, white Porsche, white wrist,
Yep.
white horse.
Yep.
Hi, bitch. Hi,
Yep.
bitch.
Now, Steve, let me ask you a question. Does this fall into the category of music that you don't understand?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Folly.
That's what I thought.
It look like you bought it at the kiosk.
Where's the hook?
Yeah, I don't. I think it's the high bish part.
Oh.
Is it supposed to be
high
bitch?
bish? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
But she just spells it differently.
Thank you for clarifying that, Steve, on the radio. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jared, you're completely right.
Yeah.
Steve should not have his own radio show.
You're not allowed to say bitch?
Here we go. Here we go again.
I didn't know that.
White J's.
I'm coughing.
It's kind of like what's her face there, Katy Perry, when she put out that Swish Swish Bish song.
Yeah.
So you could say Swish Swish Bish, but you can't say the other one.
Why not? I mean, you can use that in normal conversation.
George Carlin had a great bit about the 7 words.
He
you
had
can't
many
say.
great bits about the 7 words, and it just kind of goes along. I honestly, I think nowadays you probably can.
Yeah.
I just think you can't probably say it like 14 times in a row, as she does here. I don't know what's going on in the video, by the way.
Yeah, she was like showering for some
She's
reason.
like getting like electrocuted or something else. I don't really understand the whole point of it. She has one other single. We could throw in another yay or nay here. She's got a single called "What You Know," and it's actually called it's spelled Wachu, WHACHU.
You know, it's not new. Bands have been misspelling things for quite some time.
Wachu, no.
Yeah, but this is a whole nother level.
Yeah, this is Bhad Bhabie. Don't forget.
What you know about it? Born cars. What you know about it? Out of some money. What you know about it? Trap house. What you know about it? You don't know about it. Cuban lane.
It all sounds the same. I don't understand.
It's garbage.
I don't understand. It's all the same. All of it. Every single bit of it. I want to know if people... Let me read the reviews on iTunes, because I want to know if people are actually buying this.
God, I hope not.
And then I can't... Well, this comment says utter trash. I'm impressed. She's already getting better. I like this comment. Just go back to beating up your mom. This one just says stop. This person says this song is pretty dope. And
Pretty dope. It makes no sense to start with.
To be a complete meathead here,
I, this trash bish I don't know what that even means.
I
Is that
don't know.
English? I have no idea.
to be a complete meathead
Sure.
here, I almost now condone her beating her mother, bringing her into this world.
Yeah, that's a good point there. I think we should all beat our
She
mother.
knew beforehand. It was
Just
like,
go back to beating your mom.
it's terrible.
The person who left that review, by the way, was Cookie Monster.
Oh, man.
Oh, hey, you want to hear some actual good music?
Oh,
Yeah,
you
please.
know,
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great song.
Oh, here's some Zeppelin for you.
Oh, I really like playing this one. I go bring up the guitar and I just riff.
The song
great riff.
Great. Absolutely fantastic.
And it's a cover.
Here's Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You.
It's a cover.
SNS BIM. Doors 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack, Kiss. Before that, U2. Led Zeppelin kicked it off. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta.
What's
Steve
the matter?
Rimmer.
You couldn't play Waiting for the Sun?
No, I could not play Waiting for the Sun, which is, as a matter of fact, is celebrating its 50-year anniversary, and they're going to be bringing out a whole... No, it's not Waiting for the Sun. It's the other one. Strange Days is 50 years old this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to be bringing out a huge reissue with a whole bunch of bells and whistles and everything.
I was talking about Waiting for the Sun.
I'm not gonna go out and buy that. I would think about it, but it's just not my thing.
They're doing with Bowie's stuff. They're doing what they're doing with the Metallica stuff. They're putting out these freaking huge box sets.
Right? Didn't you tell us that one was like $180?
Oh yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that.
Well, they have been. The newest one. This is the third one. They're all called 5 years, and they all depict a 5-year period of Bowie's career. And this is the one that contains the Berlin Trio.
Yeah.
But they'll give you the 4 albums that spans those 5 years, and then they'll give you like 17 other albums and a book.
Right.
And it's, I can't afford that.
Not doing that.
I have a wife. I'd never get that by her.
Hey, speaking of having a wife, you and I are married.
Not to each other.
Not to each other.
Not that would be a bad thing.
Did you
in this
almost
day
say
and age.
to each other? I feel like you almost said it the other way around.
Yeah, he did.
I think I almost did.
The secret is almost out, Steve.
Yes,
oh, my
I know.
God. So, you remember last week when I was telling you about the trip that my wife was going to take?
Oh, yes.
On,
you texted me about it this week.
For the weekend, and I was all excited, and I was like, well, I'm just going to do nerdy things, and this is why I'm all excited. And I expressed a slight concern that there was a possibility that the plans could fall through.
And they did.
The plans have already fallen through.
Yeah.
She bought because she was buying a Groupon for the deal. I don't remember why or what it was for or whatever, but I guess there was a certain amount of time you could buy a Groupon and get the hotel room and kind of all that stuff sort of all worked in. And she bought the Groupon, and apparently there was a whole bunch of, you know how it is with, not to be sexist, not to be misogynist.
No,
But
you know
you're
how
gonna be sexist in the
But you're
front.
going to be, so...
sexist and misogynist thing
Yes.
comes out. You know how it is with women. There's all sorts of drama. There's all sorts of ridiculousness. So here's the difference. And the thing of it is, women will say, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew there was going to be drama, and somehow it was going to end up just kind of canceling the whole thing out because I know this group of women, but I thought maybe it might work for a change. But no. It looks like I'm not getting my weekend to myself.
No.
And, women will have, they'll have these arguments, and the whole thing will, maybe it'll fall through. But the difference is it's legitimate plans that they made, and then those plans fall through. You and Jared and I talk about hanging out all the time, but we always talk about it in vague terms, and it never comes to fruition.
No.
There was the one time we went to go see Dunkirk, and it's a miracle that even happened. But it's only because we had to actually buy tickets, and it was an event, and we had to actually go.
Yeah,
Steve and I would have been fine going to Kingston, but that's another story.
I think if I hadn't bought the tickets, I don't think that would have gone down.
No, absolutely not. It wouldn't have. I guarantee.
So I'm going to have to make sure I buy tickets to Blade Runner to make sure that this goes down.
Yeah, exactly. I went back and watched to be nerdy, I watched the original one again. I've now watched it twice within the past couple of weeks or so, just to sort of...
Twice. That's cute.
No, I'm serious. Because it's one of those things where I feel... I saw the movie years ago, and I kind of knew it, but then there's a lot of things I felt like I forgot, and I wanted to go back and see it and really get the feel for it. On the 4K Blu-ray, which looks amazing, by the way. So I went back and watched that a couple of times, and I was like, okay, good. Now I'm all geared up, and I'm ready for because I couldn't get excited for the sequel back in March when I first saw this teaser trailer for it. Granted, that was exciting, but at the same time, I was like, that's all the way in October. Yeah. I can't get excited for something that's coming up in October. And now I realize that October is tomorrow, and I'm like, well, holy crap.
Yeah.
Now we're on the doorstep of it.
What you should also see to get yourself excited is the 3 shorts that lead up to this. Steve and I have seen it, and we just saw the latest one, the last one, and we're super pumped now.
No, good.
Although I was kind of disappointed to learn this week that one of the main roles in the movie was going to be David Bowie.
Yes.
And of course he passed away before they could cast him.
And then just one little other input about Blade Runner is that Rutger Hauer.
Rutger, yep.
Yeah, he has no effing idea why they're doing this.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I'm baffled. I don't know why they're going to do it. Stupid.
Well, he's been a bit contentious of late.
Yeah,
anyway.
yes. Yeah. What do you mean you're going to remake the, what the hell was that movie that he was in?
I mean, could he, does he really have a place to be contentious? I mean, what's he been doing besides, he popped up on True Blood, within the last few seasons, and then that's like...
True Blood ended, years ago, Bill.
Well, it ended a couple of years ago, but I'm saying that's the thing, is he was in True Blood, and that's the last thing I remember seeing him actually in, when he showed up in the last season or two.
Oh, no, he was in Shotgun with the Hobo.
Hobo with a Shotgun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was way before he was in True Blood.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's my point.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's in, he did his one role, and that was it.
Well, I mean, he's probably just and here's the other thing. He's probably contentious because he can't be in it, because what's he going to be, an old replicant? And then my question is, what if, because if Decker was a replicant, which he might have been, now does this answer the question that he's not? Because now he's old. Maybe the shorts answer the question. I don't know.
No, I've been thinking about that one for a while.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point.
No, the shorts didn't.
You weren't really sure if Deckard was a replicant or not, and then
Even Wrigley Scott came out and was like, yes, he is.
Right.
Knock it off.
Right. And Edward James almost leaves the little... I mean, it makes sense. He leaves the little origami unicorn. How does he know about the unicorn daydream?
Exactly.
There's no other way for him to know about that. Unless he has access to his thoughts and memories.
Yeah. Well, whatever. We're being nerdy.
No, absolutely. But it's after 10 o'clock, so that's fun.
Yeah.
The only people listening are Lisa and Tom anyway.
Probably. No, we got the other one.
Oh, good.
Did your little set have the original theatrical release?
My original Blu-ray set has everything. My Blu-ray set has the original theatrical with the voiceover and the stupid happy ending. And then it's got a couple of it's got the international cut, and then it's got the director's cut.
Because that was the whole point about the initial theatrical release. You didn't get to see the dream sequence.
No, you didn't see it. Correct.
Because they cut it out.
Right.
So there was no way of you being able to correlate that with the little origami unicorn.
Right. So when he leaves,
dumb.
In the theatrical one, does he actually still leave the unicorn at the end? I can't remember.
Oh, yes.
Because I only watch... I only care about the director's cut or the final cut or whatever.
Because when I saw the movie for the first time, I thought the interest in the unicorn was only as far as he knew that guy had been to his apartment. That's the only thing, because you've got no way of thinking, he was dreaming of a unicorn, because he didn't show that bit, so it kind of ruined the whole movie.
Right, exactly.
Yes. Silly.
I think most people nowadays acknowledge the fact that the original theatrical version was crap.
Yeah.
And the versions they actually should have put out to begin with were the ones with no voiceover, not the happy ending, the stinking unicorn
Giorgio
dream
Moroder music at the end as well.
That as well, yes. And
after all the great Vangelis stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. It was 10 years later, and then Warner's was like, oh, wait a minute.
So, our bad. Sorry about that. So, with any of you nerds who are still out there and with us, hopefully you're appreciating this breakdown, and go see Blade Runner 2049 when it comes out. What's it coming out in a week or two?
I think the second week in October.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So. I just hope. I mean, Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott didn't direct this.
No, but he produced it.
He did
part of it. Yeah.
He directed Prometheus, and I.
You know what though?
I couldn't get into it.
I was talking to Steve, and again, we're going off track. I was talking to Steve, and
I don't think we have a track at this point.
And there's a lot of great reviews about this already. A lot of people saying this is a situation where you got Batman Begins, and then you got The Dark Knight, where it takes a concept from the beginning and then greatly improves on it on the second. Or Godfather 2.
Yes.
So a lot of the reviews are throwing this out.
Except this is a whole lot of years in between.
Yeah.
Whereas those were a couple of years in between each. This is what is it? It came out in 82, so I can't do the math. 35 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
So
absolutely crazy.
But that's
wow. I just made myself feel old. Great. How about we do some classic rock and kick off the last block for the evening?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. We'll kick it off with a request once again for Lisa and Tom, but it's not one of their usual ones.
Oh, good.
So cool. Here's Rock and Roll and Noise Pollution. This is from Back in Black, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Call us up, 508-531-1303. Got SNS on BIM. 91.5 WBI in Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack closing out for another week. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Yeah.
It was a lively time off the air in that last segment. That was great.
Screenshots abound.
Nope. Oh, yes. Yes.
Good time.
Good times.
Yeah.
So,
We'll be back next week.
yep, Steve tells me, or Steve tells both of us that it's about 45 degrees out there, or it's supposed to be.
That's what he said this morning.
That is going to be exceptionally refreshing
Yes.
to step out into.
Nothing like shrinking.
Nope, not at all. Luckily, maybe I can combat that with something. I don't know what.
Oh, you got screenshots.
I'll be barking up the wrong tree on that one, but we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So once again, there is a possibility that on November 11th, you could just be hearing Jared by himself. The more and more I think about this, the more and more I am not sure if that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
No.
It's
That's such a great idea.
There's a part of me that wants it to happen, just for the sheer train wreck of it all.
Yeah.
And then there's another part of me that's like, well, why don't you play it safe with the show's reputation and not even try to go down that path? But
I think there's no reason for Saturday Night Soundtrack not to be on.
I mean, on the face of it, I agree. But then some logic starts kicking in, and then I start wondering if it's the right way to go.
Oh, it's the right way to go.
But I guess we'll see.
I have a whole month to build that show.
Are you starting to build already?
Yeah, oh yeah.
No good.
I have
That's one podcast I'll be tuning into that podcast after the fact, obviously.
Right. Or you could do what you did the last time you were at a wedding and couldn't come to the show. You could just start listening to the program
Yeah.
at the wedding itself.
Yes.
In your ears.
Yeah. I might maybe I'll take an earbud with me, something a little bit more discreet.
Yeah.
A little bit more discreet, meaning he was just playing the show outright at the
On
table.
a Bluetooth speaker.
I was.
He took it from the DJ. Excuse me for a second.
We'd now like, for the first time, to introduce the couple. Did someone just yell penis? I don't understand what.
I'm pretty sure I just heard
I
penis.
don't know what's going on. What does this person mean by screen? I got to get rid of this, by the way, come to think of it.
What?
Yeah.
Sir, what?
Don't
No.
get rid of that. That's great.
No.
It's lovely.
I'm getting rid of it right now.
Don't do that. You're going to regret it.
What is wrong with you? Don't know why I give you access to my phone. That was just mistakes upon mistakes that I can't.
Well, the 11th won't be the mistake.
that I'll never be able to take back. So,
It will be a day that nobody will ever forget.
yeah, it'll be a day that lives in infamy. Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's. I mean,
Never forget 11/11.
I mean that part.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
Having 11 on the show.
Yes, that'd be great. When does that show start back again? By the way,
October 30th.
oh, I gotta wait all month.
Yeah.
I thought it came out at least in the middle of this month.
That would have made more sense because it's a very Halloween-y themed show.
Correct. Who
We're
wants
talking
to-
about Stranger Things.
Yes. Who wants to just? Everyone's like, what the? I don't know who everybody is because they've all turned their radios off by now.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering because I was like, well, shouldn't you be able to watch it a little bit ahead of the Halloween Eve or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, makes sense.
All Hallows.
Yeah.
Correct.
Same hand.
To sort of get yourself into the mood.
But that would be a little teaser. 11 might be here
Great.
for the 11/11 show because her name is 11.
Yes. I don't know if you meant that laugh to sound evil, sir,
Oh, I did.
but it did.
Oh, it's going to be the best show.
Great.
Here we go.
Looking forward to this.
See you guys next Saturday. Not see you, but we'll hear your voices, and then you'll hear our voices.
You know what we mean.
You know what I mean.
You know what Jared means.
I wish I did.
Going to leave you with Rainbow,
91.5.
WBIM,
Here we go.
SNS. We'll see you next week. Bye.